Hello and welcome to Northeast Ohio Media Group Candidates Debate. Thanks for joining us. I'm Linda Kinsey. Today we're hosting a debate with Leah Lewis and Lillian Moore, running for re-election at Highland Hills Village Council. Unfortunately, the other candidates, Jean Abernathy Smith, Michael Booker, June Dura, and David Mills, could not be with us. We'll start by asking the candidates to introduce themselves. Each candidate gets 1 minute to respond. We'll then switch to some questions, and both candidates will get 90 seconds to respond and a minute for any follow-up. At the end, we'll allow for 10 minutes for the candidates to ask each other questions, with 60 seconds permitted to answer. So let's get started. So Lillian Moore,
yes.
Why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
Hi, I'm Lillian Moore. I'm a 32-year resident of Highland Hills. I'm a retiree. I retired from the Bureau of Workers' Compensation, where I worked for 28 years. I'm a mother of 1 son and 2 grandchildren, and I'm a graduate of Tri-C, Computer Sciences. And as you know, that I'm a candidate for council for the Village of Highland Hills.
Okay, thank you. Leah?
Good deal. I'm Reverend Leah Lewis. I am a sitting councilwoman in the Village of Highland Hills. I was appointed to office in August of 2013. I ran to be retained in November of 2013, and I beat my opposition 2-1. I'm currently chair of the Rules Committee for the village, and I am a native Clevelander. I've lived in the village about 4 years now. And I'm a graduate of Bowling Green State University, Howard University School of Law, Yale Divinity School, and I have submitted my dissertation at Ashland Theological Seminary for my doctorate in ministry. And I'm happy to be with you, Linda.
Oh, very happy to have you here. Okay, so let's get started with some questions now. And Leah, we'll start with you. Mm-hmm. Highland Hills is a small community of just over 1,000 people. I think the last census it said is 1,130 people. Mm-hmm. Is it time for your village to consider merging with a neighboring community or regionalizing in some way?
Well, we actually do regionalize. We use police dispatch that is regional. So we're definitely open to engaging in this whole regional movement that's going on. But I do think the village remains a viable community. For that reason, there is no reason for us to merge with another community at this point. We, again, are viable. We are a community that knows how to function. We have a sense of self and a sense of being. So I would say at this point, no, we don't need to consider merging with other communities.
Okay, thank you. Lillian?
Same question?
Mm-hmm, please.
I too agree with Councilwoman Reverend Leah Lewis that we are a quaint little community that's nestled between Shaker Heights, Beechwood, Woodmere Village, Orange, North Randall, and we're self-sustaining. Mm-hmm. We love the art of being an independent village. We love the land that we have for development. There's so many promising things. We're working on strategic planning, visions. I just believe what we have is a wonderful village. And to merge with another village means you have to take on their concepts, take on their ideas. And we love being our cute little village. And I hope that we'll always remain the village of Highland Hills.
Okay, thank you. Your village has a charter amendment on the ballot next month that, if approved, would reduce the size of village council from 6 to 5 members and remove the mayor's authority to break a tie vote on council. You know, how do you feel about that? And Lillian, we'll start with you this time.
I want you to know that we're pretty excited about it. It was the consensus of all council members, being that the mayor breaks ties, and that's not good for council. We want to make we like to sit independently, and we like to make our own decisions. So having the mayor come in and break the tie gives him more power, and council wants to sit on its own and be an independent legislators and not the administrators, but the legislators for our village. So I'm not excited about the mayor breaking ties for us.
Okay.
Well, as Councilwoman Moore said, all members of council supported this, and I definitely support it. Not only will it give council the opportunity to be more self-sustaining, self-sufficient, autonomous with respect to our votes, it will also save the village money because you have to pay one less council person. So it's a fiscal move, a fiscal measure as well.
Okay, great. And what are you most proud of in your village? What?
Wow, I think there's a lot to be proud of. The fact that it has been a community that has lasted 25 years, that it has its own character. I've been drawn to the village. Again, I grew up in the city of Cleveland. I grew up in Ward 1 in the Lee Harvard community. So I've always known about the village of Highland Hills. And as Councilwoman Moore said, it's very quaint. But what I'm excited about, most excited about, is the possibility of innovation in the village. As council, I proposed bringing solar energy to one of our properties, the Shaker House. We have to do some renovations. We have to improve the quality of the roof in order to make that happen. But I think you have new energy on council and in the village that is very exciting. So I'm proud of the way in which the village has maintained itself over the 25 years, but what most excites me, Linda, is the possibility of innovation going forward.
Thank you.
And I agree with all that Councilwoman Leah Lewis has said, but I also am excited about the land that we have for development, the growth, the potential for growth, and the innovative matters that we can. We want to do podcasting. We want to invite the community to be more of a participating with us, with council. We have homes where we'd like to have the community get together and help paint, help make the homes look great. I know I'm stumbling for words, but I don't want to do that. But I want you to know that I love my little village, and I just want to see the growth with what we have. And I know years ago, I guess in 1990, Figgy came, and we were a township at the time, and they wanted to put a business where Eaton is now, but at that time it was Warrensville Township, and we couldn't do it until we became a village. So once we became a village, with all the potentials that we have Tri-C in our community, so everything good is for the village of Highland Hills. So that's what I have to say.
During your campaign, what is the, name an issue that you often hear from your constituents when you're out on the campaign trail?
I'll tell you, University Hospitals has just moved into the old, I can't think of the name of the company. What is
right on the corner of
right
Harvard
and Northfield.
Office
Max, the old Office Max building. And they brought with them between 600 and 800 employees. So that causes a little traffic jam at the corner of Northfield and Harvard. So most of them are asking that we put a turn signal. That seems to be the greatest complaint that I hear from our village about adding an extra lane or creating a turn lane at that intersection. That's the majority of complaints that I hear.
Yeah, one of the issues we hear in the wintertime is the way in which snow is plowed on Northfield, which is Route 8. One side of Route 8 is to be plowed by the state. The other side is to be plowed by us. And so often there's some confusion as to why is our side plowed and that of the state not. And so that's a major complaint in the summer, in the wintertime. I think that Councilwoman Moore has lifted up what is a pressing issue right now. And this traffic light at the corner of Harvard and Northfield has become an issue because of the redirecting and the development that's taking place at what was a 5-way intersection in Shaker at Chagrin, Warrensville, and Northfield, leading into Van Aken. And so that has caused some backlog in terms of traffic, and that's something that we really do need to address.
What about the safety issue in Highland Hills? Do you feel that your community is a safe community, and if not, what would you change about that?
Yeah, it seems to be. You know, we do have our own independent police force that is well-staffed and well-trained. And so safety does not seem to be a major issue, with the exception of one portion of our community, the townhouses. We do receive some complaints there. But to my knowledge, and I suspect Councilwoman Moore will second this, our police department has been very responsive.
Extremely responsive. We have a chief of police who is known. He has written a book about training young officers to come in. He's often asked to speak. So I feel very confident and I feel very safe in our community whenever there are any issues. When you call the policemen, in a matter of minutes, they're there if necessary. Our village doesn't have a lot of matters with problems with safety. We're just very, it's being maintained very well.
You already have a lot of business in your community. Do you feel that there's room to attract more economic growth, and what would you do to keep what you have? And Lillian, you can let you start.
Well, I want you to know we have Tri-C, we have university hospitals, we have a company, Highland Springs, that's slated to open later this month. I am excited about the growth. We still have a lot of other land that is to be developed. So it's just the marketing skills, being out with communities and other politicians. I've talked to other council members from Beechwood. I've talked to council members from Warrensville about because they're growing, what do you do to attract business? So I want to kind of follow. But then again, we have to partner with the mayor to make sure that this is done. So he's done a good job of soliciting businesses for our community.
Yeah, Highland Hills seems to be a destination for a lot of not-for-profit entities, hospitals, rehabilitation centers. And one of our neighboring communities seems to be thriving when it comes to corporations moving in, and that would be Beechwood. And as Councilwoman Moore said, we have tons of land to develop. So how then do we attract corporations? Is there a deficit that's hindering us from attracting corporate types? If there is, we need to figure out what that is, and we need to address it. If we were to bring corporations in, that would enhance the amount of money that we can take in for taxes, alleviating some of the tax burden on our residents.
Okay. Well, we have set aside some time if you have questions for each other. If not, you can just, tie up, the loose ends here. Anything that we might not have covered, feel free. You both have 90 seconds to do that.
You have a question for me?
Well, I just want you to know that Councilwoman Lewis and I, and several other council members, we work very well together. Yeah. We agree, we sit down, we agree to disagree. We work on all matters. We were really concerned about the new roof for our municipal building. So we were working together and getting it ratified, getting it corrected. And just everything that goes on in the village. We talk about the finances and our meetings, our interviews. We work in unison. So I just want you to know that I am very honored to be sitting here next to such a, sitting next to Reverend Lewis. Very honored. I'm stumbling. I'm not a very good spokesperson, so I have to be careful about talking soft, and that is me.
You're doing fine.
Thank you very much.
Well, as Councilwoman Moore said, there's a solid contingent of 4 councilwomen that work very well together. And as she mentioned, we agree to disagree. There is respect that binds the 4 of us together. And what concerns me is this election, because there will be a delicate balance that will be disrupted based on the quality and the character of some of the individuals who are running against us. And so some things are going to change. And the voters of the village of Highland Hills have to be very mindful to assess the character of the individuals who are running for council as well as mayor. So I am hoping for the very best. I am hoping for righteous and moral leadership in the village of Highland Hills so that we can continue to move forward and bring forth some of the innovation that I know we are capable of bringing forth.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks again for joining us. Please check back to cleveland.com to read stories about the debates, issues, and candidates for the November 3rd election.